Yeah, I don't think he was thrilled. I felt terrible.
Well,
I felt really bad.
I didn't have to clean anything up. I made
I know.
and Cameron do it.
First of all, you made no one clean it up. So let's start there.
Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast, recorded live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Matt Colvin from Chattanooga, Tennessee. From us here at Beacon House, you're a total piece of shit.
Yeah.
Just wanted to let you know.
I just read that the New York Times article about
What?
him.
Oh, fill me in.
So
Fill me in. I don't
He's
know.
the guy who hoarded all the shit. Literally, they got in cars. There was like a caravan. There wasn't just him. It was him and somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
They literally went through to all the little CVS's and the
Price gouging toilet paper.
all everywhere, all in all the little places, little town, and out of Chattanooga, and just did the spree and literally hoarded up, and then we're selling it on Amazon and all these other places. Well, they caught on to him, and he was selling shit for $70.
he was
Toilet
selling
paper, yeah.
hand sanitizer for $70.
Right.
He had 17,000 bottles of hand sanitizer.
Right. So now he's stuck. It's a picture of him standing in front of a storage unit with all this stuff behind it, Clorox wipes, hand sanitizer, all
Toilet
this
paper,
stuff. And
all
now
this
he's stuck
stuff.
with his stuff. But he literally was doing it. His whole reason was, he was like, I was
And-
trying to put my family in a good place or whatever.
Sure.
And the news they were like, so just out of curiosity, now that everything's kind of backfired on you, are you sorry? And he stops for like 45 seconds and looks at the pile of stuff and goes, no, I'd do it again. And I was like, cool, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me wonder, though, now that everybody knows that's going on, that, like, it makes me kind of wonder if,
All over Reddit.
well, people know he's got it now. So how long is it going to be till somebody kicks in that door and takes
Oh
all
my
that shit?
God.
It's probably already happened.
Like, it's got to be almost.
Apparently, he's
no.
going to donate
It's got to
everything
be.
now.
Oh,
He
sorry.
better be.
Get my mic. Get my
Hey.
mic working
Wow.
Hey,
now.
now.
Wow. Easy killer.
It's
Get
got to
up
be
in there.
almost over for that guy.
Well,
We're
no,
all talking over Spencer, and he didn't like that, so he turned himself off.
You know what? You are a virus.
Well, there's the blurb.
Well, I'd like to point out that
That's good.
it's not lost on me that shit has hit the fan and I am back on the podcast.
Yes.
I feel like that was
That's right.
this was probably going to
For those of you that are not
Welcome to the
watching-
Beacon House podcast.
Welcome to Beacon House Podcast. I'm your host, Spence.
Casey.
damn it. I'm Hunter.
There's
walrus.
numbnuts over there. And then
God.
today,
I'm so happy you appreciate that.
ladies and gentlemen, we are so happy today to feature the only thing more aggressive than the coronavirus. Ladies and
right.
gentlemen, Valerie Buckner Tippitt.
That's right.
Buck tip.
That's right.
Tip buck.
You're going to have to spell it right this time, though,
I'm just bad.
by the
I'm
way.
just bad with hyphenated names. I'm terrible.
It's not hyphenated. I told you the story. That lady kicked my middle name out.
You're just
Told
Valerie
me-
Tippitt.
It's Valerie Buckner Tippitt. But they don't even want you to have hyphenated last names anymore.
So you just have three
for that.
names.
Wait, who is
Just-
they?
The Social Security office. When I went to the...
They don't want you
Fuck
to,
'em.
or they said you can't.
Well, they're trying to get away from it. She said that it has to do with just basically paperwork and filling out stuff. It's just a lot easier for people to not have 7,000 names. They would prefer people to, I don't know. Basically, the woman told me I couldn't have 4 names.
They're like,
and then
just
and
be
she was shying me away from hyphenating it.
And
So-
you're like, hyphen.
But-
She was like, but really you shouldn't. You're like, hyphen.
I wanted
right?
to,
Did you put your foot down? Please tell me you put your foot down.
No, I was
Really?
wanted to get the hell out of there.
That's
Yeah.
how they get you, though. They're like, welcome. We know you don't want to
Well,
be here.
I don't know.
I don't want to go to the DMV either, so I get it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the Social Security office is just as bad as the DMV.
It depends.
Yeah.
Depends on the day you go.
I have some weird. I
have
always
you been
I
in
always
there?
go to the county clerk office over by my house. It's a lot chiller.
Yes.
But right now it's a mess. I had to go. So I had a birthday where you have to update your license.
Yeah.
So I had to go get a new picture and everything. But now it's the star. So I don't know if you've done this yet, but you need to do it. You got to do it by October.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you're getting a new license or not, but it will serve as a federal identification as opposed to just like your regular license, but it's so that you can fly just domestically. You got to have this blue star on there. And they are not playing around in there, man. You have to have, it's a very specific list of stuff you have to have.
Yep.
And it's the old people. I went in there one day and I didn't leave enough time before I had to go to work, and the wait was 2 hours. And that was on like a Tuesday. early afternoon.
You're like, I can't go to work, guys. I got to get that blue star.
Right. Well, I had to come back the next day because it was like my actual birthday. I was like, well, crap, I need this. So I brought a bunch of stuff, but I didn't have enough stuff. I didn't have the right stuff. I got to have and plus because my name changed, I have to have my birth certificate, then my marriage license to prove the name change.
Yeah.
It all has to be like notarized and stuff.
Yeah, my license expired a while back, and I went to get a new license.
Right.
And I think I went to the place out in Halls because I heard they were fast, but who fucking knows? You never know. But I went there, and the lady goes, "Do you want the just regular license or
exactly.
like the new one with the star?" And I was like, "What the fuck is the star? I don't even know." I told her, I said, I guess just the regular license. And they sold it to me, and like I got a picture, and I was like, and she goes, "Just so you know, this isn't going to do you much good if you ever want to travel or go on a plane."
Exactly.
And by October,
I'll have to go back. I just didn't have my stuff. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
What's the October thing?
The October is the deadline.
Yeah.
So basically everybody has to go right now if they want the star. So it's not your normal people having to update their license just because of their birthday or something. You're dealing with everybody.
So like Libby and I have to by October.
Yeah, if you want. Now here's the deal: you don't have to get the star, but if you want to fly, even in the States, you'll have to bring your passport. Yeah. You'll have to have some federal ID with you.
Yeah, you can't just use a driver's license for ID anymore.
Exactly. So when you get the license, it'll have the blue star and it'll say like federal ID.
But what if I hate flying and I don't care about it?
Well, then don't.
I don't have to do it. Okay, so it's not like I'm going to
get
get penalized for not having a blue star.
But the thing is,
you
now,
will in 10 years.
Effectively, they can now sell you 2 licenses. Hey, see how that works?
Yeah, well, I have to. Yeah, you'll go back and you'll pay a little bit more.
If you're a dumbass like me, you fucking will. I was like, I just want to get out of here quick.
Right. Well, I watched this old guy come in with his wife, and they were extremely prepared. She had the passport, she had the birth certificate, she had all their stuff. It was right there, and he's just looking eyes at me like the guy did not want to be in there. Period. His wife was obviously dragging him in there. They walk in and they sit down. And unfortunately, on his license, and the woman goes, "Ma'am, I can take care of you today. Sir, I apologize, but we've got a problem. I can't do yours today." And he's like, "What the hell?" And he's just looking at me. And I just kind of laughed because I just smiled at him because it's ridiculous. And he was already looking like he was extremely frustrated. But it turned out that the people on the driver's license, his name is Jeffrey, but on his driver's license, it was Jeff. So his name was not Jeffrey on everything, so they can't do it. So
I can't
your
believe
name
that guy
has
didn't
to
break something.
No, they told him. So she suggested go to a smaller office like Anderson County or somewhere like that, where it's not as busy, so you don't have to. I don't know. It's just a mess.
It's a mess.
Valerie Buckner looked over at him. He looked at her. They made eye contact. She went, "Sucks for you, nerd."
I just laughed. Well, he's looking at me, and he's well. You had to laugh because you could tell it's just frustrating and it's annoying that you even have to do this. I'm sure that's not the way he planned on spending his, morning.
What would George Orwell think of this?
Dude, one time I had to go to the Social Security office just to get a new Social Security card. I just found out that I'd lost mine somewhere or it deteriораted or whatever.
You guys keep going. I have to go outside and pick something up.
Sure.
I'll be right back.
But he said keep going.
Don't bring the virus back in.
Do we have to be quiet?
No.
Don't pick up the virus.
When I come back, please don't make a lot of loud noises, though. I need you to be somewhat calm and don't just be...
Is it a lizard?
No, I just don't need you guys to be
ostrich?
loud. Just keep recording. Don't stop. I'll be back in just a second.
Okay.
So I went to the Social Security office over in like Cedar Bluff.
Yeah.
On Kingston Pike there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
that's the one you have to go to.
That fucking castle.
Right. If you want to do the Social Security.
I went in there and I was in there for about 2 hours.
Right.
And literally while I was in there, the place was packed.
Right.
Fucking
God,
people.
The weirdest. It's like
there were people screaming.
It's like they come out of the ground or something.
Well, there's a lot of people there fighting to get their like disability.
Right.
And the way they fight for disabilities, they just wheel each other in like wheelchairs and just scream at the people at the counter, which is very disconcerting. And I was sitting there in this little fucking booth and I was like, and people are howling at the windows, and there's like 36 windows, and there's one security guard at the front, and he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Casey's got a surprise.
Is it a puppet?
Here we go.
I could have brought a puppet.
Oh, yay! It's a big old sloth.
Come on in, Pumpkin.
Get in here.
Come on.
You can sit right
Come,
here.
come.
Get this man a chair. Get him in here.
Oh, yay!
Damn it.
He made it sound like he was bringing some kind of
chip. Are you
fucking wildlife in here. It was bad.
I mean,
This is exciting.
This is exciting. Say hey.
Hello.
Oh, listen to that.
Listen to that
Okay.
voice. We've
I'll
been
be
trying
back next week.
You guys have
Jesus
heard us
Christ.
a million times give shout outs for AJ Dave. Ladies and gentlemen, he is here. He's here in the flesh.
This is so great. I'm
believe
having
this?
such a great
We've
day.
got the two best sounding people in Knoxville
That's
on the
right.
podcast.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah.
You got a fact going on right there.
Voice for a minute. We're on camera, so be careful.
I know, this is so
Don't-
exciting.
I'm glad you didn't tell him that ahead of
Don't
time.
be careful.
Yeah, I wish you wouldn't have told him.
There-
He'd start like whipping his titty out stuff.
Well, say hey, man. What's going on, dude?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Just want to stop by and say hello. That's all.
Well, we appreciate that.
No, you're going to
We
hang. This
appreciate
is
that
great.
very, very much. So Valerie was just getting ready to tell us about her
yeah.
recent gig
Yeah.
and its relationship to this viral scare that's going on and all this stuff.
Well, I felt like I had mixed feelings mainly because in my house, we're in the I told you so phase of the coronavirus, which is my husband has been preparing for this for quite a while now. He had already been shopping like probably over 3 weeks ago. Like he would go.
Yeah.
And so up in our spare room, there's Corona food, which I have tried to touch on 2 occasions, and I have been shut down. He's not allowed me to touch them.
Allowed to touch the Corona food?
No, we ran out of drinks, and he said there were more upstairs. And I said, well, don't we have some upstairs? He's like, oh no, that's the Corona. That's the Corona. Don't touch my Corona food. I said, I'll go get you some tomorrow. I was like, well, what is the difference? I'll go put them in the fridge now if you're going to go to get them for me tomorrow. Go. And he was like, not okay with it. So I didn't touch it. So now it's just, he was not afraid. We're overtly afraid of like the virus itself, but it was more the reaction and not like I ran out of face wash today and I went
We can tell. How dare you?
a week and
dare
a
you show up
half
like this?
ago,
Yes,
I went to
yes.
the store and tried to get it, and they were restocking at the Ulta, so it wasn't in. So I was like, "Oh crap! Well, I'll just get it later." But now I don't even want to go to the store because of all this. You know what I mean? But I don't need stuff like that. I just need like eyeliner and some face wash. You know.
Yeah.
But whatever. Anyways,
So you got the
Yes.
glasses on, cost no eyeliner?
do what?
The glasses? No eyeliner?
No, I do. I have it on. I just felt like I looked tired. Anyways, whatever.
Called out. She took him off.
Nobody looks as tired as Spencer, though.
Amen.
Yeah, but
But nobody is as tired as everyone in here except Spencer.
yeah, but I just felt like with everything
I don't
canceled.
know. I'm pretty tired of Casey's shit.
Heard that.
Go on, dear.
Well, I just felt like it was a little. I had mixed feelings. One was that so much stuff is getting canceled. Really, the next month is sketchy at best. So for somebody like me, like you know,
performer. Yeah.
But yeah, you can't. Well, what am I going to do? I can't work from home. I mean, if it's gone. Because I understand. I feel like it's really important that everybody, you know, quarantine and take care of themselves. You know, to stop. I mean, we're not a hot spot though. I mean, it's not prevalent here at all,
Right.
Yet or whatever. So, but I mean, my God, last night was. I won't say it was wall to wall packed, but we had a great crowd and they were there the whole night. And
Nice.
there was no social distancing. I don't know how in God's name drunk people go social distance shit. I mean, and then at one point I was up on stage, this woman came in who I know, and she came over and she comes right up to the front of the stage and she's just like, hey girl. And she just wants to grab my hand. And I was like, man, and I kind of hesitated.
Right.
In enough time that later she came up to me and apologized and was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I kind of put you on the spot in front of everybody to like touch my hand. It's like, I don't know.
Like she's reaching for you to pull her out of the ocean.
Right.
You're like, I don't really know. This is gonna maybe
I
drown.
don't know. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, but at the like I said, on the flip though, it's like I don't know how much money I'm gonna make in the next month. You know, I have a lot of gigs in April. They may be canceled. That
Right.
last night might have been one of the last ones I get for a minute. Okay, because they're not going to reimburse you for if they cancel your show. It's not
Right.
like we get paid or anything. No, it's just it's done. You know.
Sure.
And like in New Jersey, they already have like today they've got a curfew, and they're closing bars. Bars will not be able to serve food after. Well, they're closing them down anyways. It didn't make any difference about the food thing, but anyways, they're closing bars and stuff and.
I ran into our friend, probably, I think most of you guys know Brad Hubbs, bartender extraordinaire. Used to work at the library.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Sorry,
worked everywhere.
that took me a second, yeah.
I bumped into
Yeah, I
him for
love
just a
Brad.
minute last night, and he was talking about he's already looking for
Something else
side
to
gigs
do.
but for the next month because they're the bartending business is just going to be in peril. I'm not going to say it's going to close down, but it's going to be, fucking who knows.
Well, but literally the only thing, I don't know, you would have to do something extreme because people are still going to go out and do stuff. I mean, if you want to keep really, so I think some places are actually having to do these extreme measures. And and I teach during the week. And so we got an email. We plan to open back up after spring break, but that's extremely tentative just to see what's going on. But we're rolling out measures to be able to do lessons online. Through the system that we have at work and stuff.
You could not emotional distance. Sorry, the social distancing. You could do that.
We've already been doing that shit for a while. Yeah. I feel nothing.
You could teach belting though, right? Couldn't you just? This is the month for belting everything. Like no subtle vocals.
Well, I teach piano. I already act like an extreme germaphobe at work. Regardless, I act like the kids are coming in there to kill me every day, all the time.
That's this guy right here.
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah. You just think about everything they touch, and it blows my mind all the time. They won't go to school, but they will show up for their lesson. I've had kids come in with pink eye, mono, strep throat, and this has all been within the last month, okay? They come in, and I'm like, God, you look awful. And then the next week, they're like, oh, yeah, the next day, couldn't go to school, I had strep. I'm like, you had strep with you or with me. Like, gosh, blast it. So, I'm used to that.
Hone that
so
passion,
to me, like we're very proactive at work anyways, but you're in a tiny room, there's, it's only going right in your face and in your orifices, just breathing and the touching.
And you're breathing and singing.
Right.
Like you're projecting. Like, fuck. I read today, they said that the coronavirus, the distance, like when you speak to somebody and like your little spit things, particles.
10 feet or something.
It's 6
Damn
feet.
it, Casey.
Is it 6?
6 feet before gravity takes control. So maybe the 10 feet is like the last 4 feet as it's going down. But they said if you could try to stay 6 feet away from people, that helps your chances, along with like the hand washing.
I don't
and
even think one of my rooms that I teach out of, they're not even that big.
Oh my God. I found out that I didn't know how to wash my hands correctly. I found this out. They had, have you seen any of the talk shows lately? Where they've got like Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Fallon, and they're just talking to empty rooms now.
Yeah.
There's no audience anymore.
Yeah.
But they had Dr. Oz was on Fallon like 3 or 4 nights ago or something like that. Look this video up because the guy goes, look, wash your hands like this. We learned this in medical school. This is what we do before surgery. And you're supposed to do all these crazy things. Like most people just wash like the back of their hands. He goes, you don't touch anything with the back of your hands.
No,
you got to pay attention to your fingernails, tips of the fingers. You've got to do this weird like handshake thing like this. And then you have to really work on your thumbs because they don't get as much action here. And then you've got to dig out this part of your palm here with soap. Like a lot of people do all that shit.
I'm sorry.
Is that what you do?
My whole face. I forget that we're being filmed. I'm over here like.
Fucking, have you ever done that? Have you ever in your life fucking done that when you're washing your hands?
Well, I mean, I wash my hands really good. Well, I wear a lot of rings, and so I'm always I have to make sure that I don't get soap under my rings.
You wear the virus. The virus lives in the ring.
Well, no, I'll get, if I don't get the soap out from behind my ring, sometimes I can get like contact dermatology. You know what I mean? You've got to keep them really clean. Too. So I'm constantly washing just and take them off and get in between my. I don't know. It's probably the most. Maybe I don't do that.
Well, sure, but like, how many people generally just wash the back of their hands? What the fuck is washing the back of your hands?
I don't think I should pay more attention.
Well, the thing is,
I've always done the like.
Oh.
Yeah, you're supposed to do a lot of shit.
It looks like
really,
do they call that the Godfather?
I mean,
I don't know.
I was telling you this one time. They said if you're going to wash your hands, you need to massage the inside of your palm.
But apparently, if you do all that shit, apparently you don't have to worry about counting to 20 or singing happy birthday. It takes about fucking 20 seconds to really do all that stuff.
If you do it properly, you don't have to do any kind of thing.
It's so good.
I've had it with you.
That's good. Can we just rename it the Godfather?
You can name it after me if you want.
But so, if you want to go watch that video, it shows you how to wash your hands pretty well. And the guy claims that lowers your chances of getting it by 50%, which is a lot,
Yeah, that still leaves you a 50% chance that you'll get it, though. So what use is it?
I don't know. They said the washing, maybe. I didn't realize the way that it was described, or I read it was described, was very helpful. It reminded me of like imagining okay, just if this is really dumb, I just thought of it earlier. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
It's easy.
Is that the virus? The reason why hand washing is so effective is because a virus is like a little enclosed. I would imagine it's like a bath bead, something you would put in water and it evaporates or like dissolves. I know, shut up. This is stupid. Anyways, but in my head, that's what they said. When it comes in contact with the water, the outside of this virus that, it dissolves or it breaks open. And then that's what causes the virus to dissipate into then you clean it, makes it not effective or going to spread or whatever.
So just water alone fucks it up.
Right. Yeah. Warm water. So that's what it is. So in my head, immediately I was like, oh yeah. So it's like a bath bead.
It's like the beginning of Prometheus. Here's this little flower and go touch the water and you turn into dust and seed an entire planet with new life.
Right.
Corona life.
Corona life. Well, so our friend Gabby, shout out. She's out in Washington, other side of the country. She listens to every episode. I told her we'd give her a big shout out. She wanted to travel back. Her family's in Chattanooga, but she's in a military family, and they're not allowed to travel right now. But she was a veterinary student here at the University of Tennessee, and she goes, it's a funny thing. She goes, tell the guys on the podcast this. But that's been happening for a long time, and they've actually had vaccines already for like horses and cows and coronavirus for a long time. So she's like, I wonder why nobody's looking at those.
Strain,
I wish, go watch, if you haven't watched, I just happened to watch The Pandemic, it's called Pandemic, and it's the series on Netflix.
Yeah.
I think it's very odd that this thing came out before this really happened, hit, because it's been on Netflix for a while, and it just seemed a little heavy for casual viewing. There are a couple of times when I would see it. Have you seen it?
I've not.
But it's a broad, it's overarching, like they follow a guy from the World Health Organization in Africa, and them trying to combat Ebola. And then they've got a doctor in India because of their prevalence of swine flu. And then they've followed basically various people in these, in that business of, trying to containment but yeah, it's super. I highly recommend it for anybody who's just curious. But just like that, there's people, it's their job. They just monitor like ducks and birds.
Right.
And things. Because again, they carry things that may not, be infectious to people. Sure. However, it has happened before in the past. There can be, it can do one little... And now,
I love that. I'll watch out for that.
right.
I fucking hear anything doing that, I'm fucking gone. I'm out. Well, somebody like a bunch of the big podcast guys like Rogan and Joey Diaz have been talking about this, and a lot of this originated in like the wet markets in China, where
it was bats.
Have you fucking seen?
It was bats.
Yeah, and
mainly because I saw a meme and I was like, "What does bat soup have to do with this?" Yeah. So I had to go back and look. I was like, "That's right," because they think it originated with
Joey Diaz was on Instagram and he goes, who the fuck wants to eat a bat, you nasty motherfucker? Who looks at a fucking Cocker Spaniel and goes, I could barbecue that, He goes, people making the whole world sick. But yeah, eventually it originated in a bat, or it was a combination of like a human virus mixed with a bat virus, probably because somebody ate a bat or fucked a bat or something.
Bat soup, something, I don't know.
People need to watch out.
Right.
If you watch the making of the Fallon Dr. Moreau that I'm on.
I will come over there and take that microphone.
I've had it with you.
I filmed it with Val Kilmer back in the
it.
90s. And
I've had it with
that's
you.
where it came from.
He's killing me. He is killing me.
He's really trying for the blurb.
Shit. Anyway.
I never try for the blurb.
Well, so getting back to like how it's affecting people and stuff. So you say your gig was packed.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great crowd, all things considered. But it was a mixed bag. It was like, truly, I didn't think it was a great idea that everybody was still like out and about.
Right.
Would you have preferred that it be like some weird acoustic thing? Type?
No. I mean, I would either... Steve didn't want me to go. He was like, man, I really hate that you have to go. And I was like, yeah, but...
It's a gig, though.
It's money. Yeah. And there very well could be that I'm not making a lot of money in the coming month, So, and that can go, even with my, work teaching at the studio too. You just don't know. Yeah. So it was weird. And then knowing that you almost feel a little like, I don't know, like I was maybe facilitating. I should have been maybe.
No, I get it.
Getting people like, don't come, go stay home. But then people are going to make, I just told Steve, I was like, listen, people have their own discretion that, stay or not. I said, there could be nobody there tonight. I mean, who knows, you know?
Sure.
But
I mean, I'm seeing that. Like last night, I drove for just a minute. I drove down like Central Avenue, and there were people spilling out of like the clubs on like southbound, and it looked like a meat grinder.
Oh, I laughed.
There was no like distancing. It was just
like I said. What drunk? When have you
whole
ever?
Fucking street was like a petri dish. I mean, like, and I'm not trying to scare anybody off, but obviously somebody's not afraid of the fucking virus,
right?
You know?
Well, and I think that's what's kind of you're just you know, because you started to see all these. You know, I've read 3 articles today about people just have it. One was in Louisiana, and it was a guy, you know, just I can't remember what his job was. Anyways, but he hadn't been feeling good. Goes to the doctor, tests negative for the flu. They send him home. Don't think he, you know, was worthy of, I guess, going further with the testing or whatever. Then he goes home to his wife and his son. Son goes to school, you know. School, you know, we're in spring break, whatever. Okay, she finds him next to the tub, and he's like incoherent. He's just babbling. He's out of it, fever. They take him to the hospital. I mean, he's got double pneumonia, the flu. But he tests negative for the flu, and then that's when they try to get him the COVID-19 test or whatever, and he tests positive, and so then they quarantine everybody. Well, meanwhile, his son had gone to school. So then they had to notify the school that and then right now, and this is all happening like current.
Right.
And her son are in quarantine, and they have fevers right now, and they had to induce. I don't know what they gave him. I didn't know but basically he agreed for them to give him medication to put him under and have a ventilator take over to give his lungs a rest because, you know, he can't, you know, it's just, you know, hanging on, you know. But then she's like, and then I look at pictures and Bourbon Street is packed. You know, it's still, everybody's still out. And she's, you know, over here going, he's just a normal guy. He was just walking around. There was nothing that he did that would have, you know, that he would have thought he put himself at risk or anything. So I don't know.
Then
again,
that's fucking know.
Right,
you know,
right. So I didn't want to like facilitate passing around and nothing. But the only thing that made me feel better was that we aren't a hot spot. Not to say that we won't be in the future. I mean, who knows? But you need to take the precautions, and people do need to just chill out.
A lot of people do think there's going to be maybe like a 2-week thing where,
right, for sure,
where you're allowed to go out, but only to like grocery stores and pharmacies, or the hospital. A lot of businesses are going to close. Maybe we don't know yet. Like that's what somebody goes. There's going to be a quarantine. I go, what the fuck does that look like? Is that a quarantine where like a guy's outside and you can't leave your house, or is that where you just can't leave your city?
Well, again, because of the interstate changeover here in town, we are a cross section for the entire country, travel wise. So, I would be surprised if we didn't get.
AJ, do you have any thoughts on this?
What do you think, AJ?
Yeah.
How is the
especially from your like point of view as far as what you do for a living?
How has the coronavirus affected you, AJ?
Yeah.
I've got nothing.
Oh my God. People are going to wonder why the hell we were so excited he showed up. They're going to be like,
right
what?
That's the punchline.
No way, dude.
What is this, episode 109?
That is the most AJ answer.
Oh my God, the wait is well worth it.
Anybody that knows AJ, if he would have said anything but that, they'd been like, fuck, you guys faked that. You guys faked that fucking response.
Dude, I remember when I met you the first time. We were at I think it was the Mike night that Beacon House hosted for our friend Brandon. But I met you for the first time, and you must have known that I was associated with them somehow. And I ran into AJ and I was like, hey, man. And he goes, hey. I was like, cool, I'll go back downstairs.
AJ is good at spotting. He's
so
really good at spotting a super white-ass motherfucker, in which I'm not saying you are, but I'm not saying you're not either. You know.
Hey, I grew up with hip-hop. Leave me alone.
Okay, gotcha.
I saw the head drop.
Do you remember that guy? That's like one of my favorite story. Me and AJ were at Stillhouse one night, and we're just sitting there, and there was this white guy at the end of the bar over by the jukebox, and he played some songs or whatever. And what did he play? Was it a Prince song? It was Outkast. It was an Outkast song. And it turns on, and AJ's like, oh, man, yeah, I love this song. And he starts, And that white dude got so excited. He just looked over. He goes, yeah. I played that. I played that. AJ was like, okay.
He wanted your
he wanted just AJ. He wanted the black approval.
he
so
wanted your
bad.
approval so fucking
So
bad.
bad. It was so funny.
Holy tell more
So
AJ and
good.
Valerie stories. This is we have a rare opportunity here.
God.
They used to sing together.
Right, we were in a band together.
We have a
If
rare opportunity.
AJ's silent and Valerie's not making
Hey,
any of
well,
it
a
up.
fun thing. We actually did get the original chocolate and the chips. Both chips were together, reunited a couple weekends ago.
Oh, let's
Yeah.
hear a little bit about that.
I'll plead the fifth.
Damn it.
One of my
So good.
favorite like chocolate and the chip stories was I was playing. You remember this? It's a Red Shoe Gala.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were because the whole thing. Our big hit is our cover of the Fugees' "Killing Me Softly," and so yeah, the pop rocks know that song, and I decided he was at the Red Shoe Gala. It's it's a fundraiser, big kind of hoity-toity. It's a great event. We had played
It's
it
a
several
fundraiser.
times.
I
It's
forget what
great.
organization they do, but we donated far as our business goes, and they were the performance that night. And I also with some friends who bought tickets, and I had a free pass, not knowing how the night would end up because it was a free bar.
Oh my God, it
so,
ended so
yeah.
good. It was just like AJ in a sea of middle-aged white ladies on the dance floor. He was like in the middle, and they were swirling around him, and they were all in red stiletto shoes. And there's an AJ in the middle.
Sounds like a Disney dance.
Oh, it kind of did. It felt like it. So I decided, well, why the hell not? So I just started talking how we had this special guest for them
Oh, God.
yes. in the audience, how thrilled I was. Such a special occasion. We're going to reunite my old band, Chocolate and Chips, and I got AJ up there. And the best part of this whole thing is that AJ only does one thing, which is one time. That's all he does the whole do time. And then he just stands up there the whole rest of the song. That's the best part. Is that then he just has to stand up there.
It's pure magic.
It is. So
It's pure
good.
magic.
It is the greatest. Oh my God. Sometimes work is fun.
Something. That's incredible.
No, we've had some really good times,
AJ, and I can agree. Sometimes work is
Yeah. Man.
He's going to change that for you.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw that face.
Oh man.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah.
Well, guys, what else has been going on in the world? Anything noteworthy? It's been like 100 episodes since you've been here,
Right.
And
Look at you boys all grown up.
that's fucking debatable. But thanks.
I
Thanks.
wipe my own ass.
Well, not lately.
Good luck.
Just got surprised how it's been over 100 episodes, and this is the first one I'm on, but I just kind of showed up.
Yeah.
So
We're happy with it. We're
Right.
where's
glad,
my
This is-
fucking invite?
we're
Right.
glad Casey can't keep you
Yeah.
away from us anymore. He's been trying to keep you out of our lives.
Yeah. We ask
I believe
every
the fifth.
single week.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. You know, we're
Yeah,
cutting-
work is going to suck for you tonight.
No, we're cutting shifts, so it's all good.
Comes in waves.
Yeah. He'll be here more often. Don't worry.
Valerie, do you have any fun? The last time you were here, you had so many fun gig stories. Of just saying, you went way back. I mean, we
Yeah.
talked in the last Valerie episode. We talked about
I actually was thinking about that. I do have like another installment of like things people
Weird
say
shit
to
that
me.
happens, yeah.
So last night I got stopped.
Can I
and
stop
this-
you there for a second? I'm sorry, 1 second. Have you talked about the 4th of July show that I put on my Facebook every single year?
That's one of
Did
the
you?
best.
The gin and juice.
That one's really good.
Did you talk about that one last time?
No, every year AJ got this. We were playing a gig at Smoky Mountain Brewery in Turkey Creek, and we did gin and juice and Chris raps. I mean, it's like it's so white, and it's just
No, the performance is good.
Thank
I was
you.
actually surprised.
Oh, thanks.
The audience, however, and their interaction with this, I don't know,
It's some of those epic.
Betty Sue and Jim Bob on the dance floor. Every bit of 55, 60 years old dancing to gin and juice. And
And just they might as well have been
It's-
doing the Charleston to
very
it. I mean, it
entertaining.
was just
like from the 20s.
right. It's like
Kicking their feet
And so, AJ shares that video, that memory every time it rolls
year.
up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because it's
man.
just us on stage really getting into this gin and juice. And then there's,
That's incredible.
it is something.
Hey,
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Allegedly, they
Well,
did, yes.
it was the break was we were about to go back on, and I had on these green velvet bell bottoms.
Right.
To be festive, But this woman stopped me. She's like, girl, she's like, go. She said, girl, you have not had a camel toe all night. And I said, okay. She said, honey, we've been watching. You have not had one. We kept thinking, look, any second now she's going to get a camel toe, but you have not had one all night. We've all been watching. I was like, all right.
Were you glad you wore a cup that time?
It's good to know you got people watching out for you.
They have my back, man.
And your front.
And that front.
Yeah.
And that front. I appreciate it.
Oh, my God.
I just want you to know we weren't creeping. We were looking out for you.
I'm telling you, there's
did
no boundaries.
Well,
No
we're talking
boundaries.
about Boogie Nights now. This is
Yeah.
involved. This is not Pop Rocks anymore.
No.
Boogie Nights is your
Yeah.
outfits and your general persona in Boogie Nights
Thank
is
you.
way more advantageous. It's
Thank you.
very aggressive. There's a lot
Ooh.
of style changes and
Aggressive.
it's more.
I think you were just starting.
Yeah.
Boogie Nights had already been around for a minute the last time you were here.
Right.
Now you've got quite a few shows under your belt.
Yeah.
And they have been
Listen,
legendary.
it's been, I gotta say, someone posted a meme the other day, just like when it's really, really good and you're playing music with, your friend, this.
Sure.
It's just it just doesn't get any better. Like, I love when we have like band rehearsal at the house, because we all genuinely really enjoy hanging out
What's
with
that
each
like?
other. Listen, I
kidding.
didn't know.
Show up, figure it out.
I was here last week.
But it's just, you know what it was too? There's a really good documentary on Netflix right now, and it's about ZZ Top. And
I've almost watched it too.
Oh,
What's it called?
watch it right now.
Sell it to me.
So
Sell it to me.
good.
Yeah. I need a reason.
So back a couple months ago, we went to the Exit 111 Music Festival because my really good friend Ben Savage in 10 years was, the Whitechapel, and then 10 years was playing.
Oh, damn.
And my
Everybody played there.
yeah, and I'm originally from that area, and so my parents bought tickets, and we all went down. So my mom wanted to see her boys on stage, and my mom literally crashed all their tour buses, waltzed past security with a funnel cake, and then my dad said, they go, "Where are you going?" And my dad goes, "We're looking for our son." And they were like, "Oh, okay, what band is he?" "He's in 10 years.
You're talking about Matt?
They're talking about Matt. And Matt and them are on the bus, and all of a sudden the bus door opens, and it's just mom and dad with a funnel cake. And Rachel's like, "How did you get?" Mom's like, "Hey."
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah,
but we did.
that's incredible.
Great.
We did, but it was hysterical. So we were only able to go. I had a show Friday night, so I was only able to see Whitechapel on Saturday. But we went up. But ZZ Top was one of the headliners that night.
Okay.
And I had not realized that this is their 50th anniversary tour.
Yeah, dude.
Jesus.
50 years.
Yeah.
Same three guys. 50 years.
Fucking amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, but that towards the end of the documentary, Beard, the drummer, he was talking about, just the fact that when he found these guys, he was like, "I just really enjoy playing music with these guys." Like, sometimes it takes them several bands or so, to find the people that you really, he's like, "But I found my guys."
Yep.
And he says, "I'm completely happy. I'm completely satisfied playing with these two guys." And I just thought, oh man, that's so nice. It is so nice. But I did think that because really, me and Dave Peoples and Chris, we've played together.
Oh man.
It's really hard to imagine kind of not playing with them because they are
Sure.
so fun to play with.
It'd be weird for me to see you not on stage with them. You know?
Right?
I've seen you sit in with Smooth Sailor, but even they
Sure.
share some of the members.
Yeah, no, Peeps is in that band too.
Exactly.
I can't shake
In fact, it's hard for me to watch a band that doesn't have Dave Peoples.
There
And
you go.
if Dave Peoples and Andy Campbell aren't in the band, I'm like, why am I even here? Who the fuck is this? And,
Right. I know, but we have it was just a really good time.
Well, and your guest stars are fantastic. Like Ben Eller, when Ben Eller sits in with you guys.
Ben's actually playing with us this weekend. We're actually going to Middle Tennessee. It's my dad's 60th birthday, and he's also retiring.
Brandon Cobb told me about that. Yes.
He's retiring, and AJ will be
We
there.
don't say that name.
This white dude I know told me about that. He's white as shit.
Brandon Cobb. We don't say Brandon Cobb.
Don't say those names.
Don't.
We do not speak of those.
We don't say
Of
names.
any that white.
Apologize.
He's white as shit. Anyway.
But anyways, and we're the Boogie Nights are gonna play the party, and we got
I will not be sober, just so you know.
I don't think anybody will. And my parents we know how to throw an event. I mean,
I don't doubt it.
right.
I've seen people come back from Tullahoma and they're just like,
Right. That's so much fun. But anyways, what was I getting? Oh, what was I even saying about that? Oh, but Ben Eller's on that gig. Right. I was like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
the hell? But he's a monster.
yes, he is. Yes, I've known Ben a long. I've actually known Ben longer than I've known you. Or I met Ben back when he was like fucking, I want to say like 18 or something, or maybe even younger, maybe
Wow.
15. And he had, I don't want to say just started because he was already a mutant, but he was early into the guitar experience.
Mutant?
He was a fucking mutant on the
He was
guitar.
born with the
Ben
energy.
Savage had talked about it. Just Uncle. He would mention Uncle Ben, and I
Yeah.
just in my head, and I was like, "Oh, don't you know that?" I was like, "No." And then eventually I got to know him. It's not. It was. It's funny because he's not at all what I kind of pictured what this Uncle Ben character was
Sure, yeah.
in my head to who he is now. But he's a peach. I love him.
He is, and
awesome.
he's got an amazing sense of humor to go along with his
Oh,
talent. Kind of like you, kind of like Chris Cook, kind of like all you guys, Dave Peoples, Andy Campbell. The reason you guys
Yeah.
are so fabulous is none of you guys are up your own ass about your talent. You're just comfortable with it, and it's a lot of fun to watch. And Ben is the same way. I saw you guys out at the place on Wild Wing on like Emory one night.
Yeah.
Ben Eller
Was
playing.
Ben with us? Yeah.
and he was. I mean, he had us in stitches.
He's
he
so
was
great.
just mugging us the whole time. It was
He's so
fucking
funny.
amazing.
Yeah.
So amazing,
I'll watch his YouTube videos about playing guitar.
dude.
I don't play guitar. I have no idea what he's talking about. But I watch. They're so entertaining. You don't even have to know what you're
Listen,
doing.
for anybody listening to this, what she's talking about, go watch. Again, subscribe to Ben Eller's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, because
Right.
it's fucking wonderful.
It's great.
Beyond that, he has particularly one video, and it's called Stuff Gojira Does.
Yes, it's so.
And for
Yeah,
a week of my life, I thought it was the funniest video on the entire internet, and it might still be, but it's incredible.
It's really good.
Yes, and
I've
he's gonna.
seen
He's
that
got.
one.
I've seen him a couple times, and he goes, "Man, I've got a couple more coming. We can't reveal it, but he told me what a couple of them might be.
Yeah.
and it's going to be piss pants funny.
He's funny.
It is. But very informative too. He's a super phenomenal guitar player.
Really good. He's just a good teacher. He explains things really, really well.
really does.
So I watch a lot of, videos like that all the time. Just, brush up on stuff or
Sure.
just, like anything, you have to keep up with technique or
It's true.
new warm ups or anything like that. So
So I saw somebody
really
recently
good.
that was talking about. They said guitar players have a particular weird category, because if we played in an orchestra or something, if we played in a classical orchestra, we would be expected to have every technique on command. We would be expected to be able to play anything of any style at any point, like whenever we had to. And we wouldn't be able to say, well, I don't know how to play that stuff. You would literally somebody would set a piece of music in front of you, and you're like a unionized chamber guy, and they would go, okay, and they would count, and you just had to play. And you had to be able to do anything. As guitar players, we kind of have this weird situation. I'm not recording you. But like... But like we have this weird situation where we can kind of just go, well, I just do this thing or I just do that thing. And Ben's really good at breaking that down
Right.
for guitar players. He doesn't just open a theory book and read you like an encyclopedia. He goes, so most of you may have noticed that blah, blah, blah. What does that even mean? And he's good. He's a good translator from
Right.
like the scholarly type of music learning, like the like university students and stuff.
yeah, he'll
down
put it
to
in
the-
layman terms
Yeah.
so you can kind of.
and then he'll slip a joke in there so that
That's
you're
great.
like, you want to go back and watch it again. So shout out Ben Eller.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful guy.
Yeah, we're lucky.
I turned you back up now that you got your head out of your ass.
Scissor is not playing.
I didn't know that's what that sound was. I thought it was you pretending to be asleep.
Could have been.
Yeah, it's weird.
The
It's funny
traction
we got
of
it on
your head.
video, so whenever I make the
There you
clip,
go.
I can just add the Z's in for
you go.
myself.
Oh man.
So
When do you play next? You said you had shows or gigs in
Yeah.
April.
Well, okay. I mean, I've got a lot of shows in April, but I don't even know if they're even going to happen. So
Right.
I guess it's all tentative.
Can we have another Band-Aid or First Aid? What's the U2 something aid band? I think it was Band-Aid,
Like,
right?
We are the world.
Yeah, we
Live
need
Aid?
something. We need to fight coronavirus.
Live
with-
Aid? Live Aid. Like
I
where
could've
Freddie
sworn-
Mercury played?
I could have sworn U2 had one called Band-Aid. and it was like a bunch of bands got together
There
to
was
raise money.
Farm Aid, Live Aid. There were so many of them.
Yeah,
There's a
I feel
lot
like,
of them.
yeah.
Well, we need a Corona Aid or something.
Well, it's going to be
raise money.
it's going to be
COVID aid.
like streamed digitally
COVID
or
aid.
something. You know, I don't know, man.
I think this is the beginning where we
Oh,
all
God,
just
yeah.
start staying inside forever.
It's
and I'm
co-
okay
Yeah.
with it.
Oh.
COVID aid. It's all these big bands like go to this giant outdoor arena and play to no one, and you just have
No, because you couldn't have the bands together. You'd have to have all the bands play in separate warehouses. And
separate arenas. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think there
yeah.
are like apps that do this anyways, where you just put the squares and it's people singing together.
That's
you know,
true.
but they're
This is
all,
why
isn't
Japan
that an
did the
app? Don't
Vocaloid
they?
thing.
I see advertising for that on YouTube all the
Is that what
time,
the-
where people can
is that-
like
is that what
duet
the
with each
future's
other.
gonna look
Fake
like?
holographic pop bands.
Right.
God damn.
Well, I have like I said, we've got the private party this weekend, but like coming up in April.
Everybody listening, go to these shows if they're still
Yeah, and if
they're
you're
still-
not like coughing,
Rub elbows, cough on people,
No!
breathe real heavy.
No.
am-
But like cover your cough with your mouth.
with your elbow,
hand.
your elbow.
That
no
Philippines
hands.
is already.
I know.
No, with your hand. That's
I had
how you
someone
catch
today-
it.
I had
and then
someone-
shake hands. Mingle.
You guys.
I had someone today trying to be really nice to me, and they were like, "I want to shake your hand, but all the germs and stuff." So he gave me like a fist bump. I immediately went and washed my hands anyway.
Hey, good.
That doesn't do anything.
That's good. I have so much hand sanitizer right now in my purse.
Actually,
don't tell anybody.
a fist pump is
$70. I'll give you
No,
$70 for it.
We can walk you to the car. We'll make sure you're safe.
Somebody told me,
Thank you, honey.
you see all these people posting
is-
about.
I feel so much safer now.
Ooh, if we're gonna tell
I
stories,
know with these
can I
guys,
tell
but
stories?
I'll protect you. Like I know they don't look like much, but
Can I tell a
Shit.
Valerie Buckner story? Actually, can I tell a Valerie Buckner story? I
you
only
should
have
ask
one.
Valerie Buckner.
Can I tell my
Tippitt.
one Valerie Buckner story?
Is it the one you already told that one time on the podcast
I did tell that one on the podcast
about the car?
Oh, but I didn't say who it was. Never mind. All I know is that someone opened a bottle of water in the back of my car, but it wasn't a bottle
You
of water.
told that story?
I did, but I left names out.
He didn't name anybody.
Oh, that was me.
We'll edit this out.
AJ was in the
No,
backseat
you
too.
don't have to
I
edit
was
it
a
out.
mess.
You know how hard it's going to be for people to go back and find that story?
You're the one who said it was water.
I mean, it's only on Spotify, iTunes.
Because I looked at AJ. I literally,
YouTube.
Casey goes, "What?
What was that noise?
Did Valerie just? What was that?" And then AJ looks at me, and I just went.
AJ, do you know?
It was a mixing issue. It was a combination of things.
That sounds like a you issue. I
that's
think
one
you're
of
the
the-
only common denominator.
All
in
I
that
know-
God, it was so bad.
All I know is trying to talk to you after everything was said
Well,
and done was like
there's-
reading a Dan Brown book. Like everything was in code and encryptions. You're like,
That's so true. It's called
you just-
jibber jabber. It's
you
called
talk-
jibber jabber.
You talked to me and I went,
It's called jibber jabber.
what? And you went, fuck you. And I was like, what did I do?
I know. Steve, I've done it because he's gotten it several times. AJ's gotten it too. There's a point where I'm there, I'm walking around, and I'm looking at you.
Lights are on,
But not really.
Nobody's
Oh
home.
hell no! It's just not making any damn sense. But we call it jibber jabber.
I like
it's
the
full
part-
words. It's full words.
Yeah.
But none of the sentence structure is to pieces. It's a
The
mess.
context is missing.
Context. Hell,
All I know-
anything.
One of the sentences started off with, she went outside, and AJ and them were like, go outside with her, make sure, because you're not drinking, you're the DD, you're the...
Yeah.
So go outside and make sure she doesn't wander off. And I was like, okay. So I went outside and she...
Like old lady. All right.
Have you met your drink?
I like the part in the story
No.
where Casey was talking about, like, they were trying to take you home and he kept missing your driveway.
Oh, I know it. All I wanted
Which-
him to get a home.
which I thought-
I would have made it if he'd have got in my driveway the first time.
If he would have got in there the first time.
There would have been no issue.
So I go outside with her.
The issue happened way before that.
Okay, shut up. Shut up. When did this? No one else. Who else gets this kind of treatment in here?
Who everybody talking about?
I want to talk to your boss.
Only the special
My God.
ones.
All I know is
I'm going to talk to that damn virus.
I went
I
outside.
know. I was sounding so responsible earlier in this conversation. Now I just sound like an ass.
No, it was great. It was wonderful. It was like my favorite story.
I don't really think it was your favorite.
That's not what you said on the pod. People can go back and listen to the episode.
No.
Good luck finding
I don't think he was thrilled. I felt terrible.
Well,
I felt
how
really
thrilled-
bad.
I didn't have to clean anything up. I made
I know.
AJ and Cameron do
That's-
it.
First of all, you made no one clean it up. So let's start there. Second, we cleaned it up because we felt bad.
I know.
Also, you, Valerie, should have known better. But whatever.
No, how would I? Who the hell?
Your glasses.
Hey, we all wear masks.
So I got that.
Let her hide behind hers.
But no, it was a very unfortunate situation for Kate in the car. I had absolutely nothing to do with it. I bought no drinks. I did not pressure anyone into taking any drinks.
Yeah. No.
So
I would like to point out that no one warned me about this when this happened.
Listen, I
snuck
don't
in the
go
deep end?
out knowing that's gonna. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
anticipate.
Don't act like
No,
you've
hold
never
on.
met Valerie.
No, hold on.
Fuckface.
Is I went
Jibber
outside.
jabber is something else. Jibber jabber's next level. When
It
you
was
see
legendary.
When you see it, you know.
But I
and
went
you'll
outside.
Never forget. It's rare. It's extremely rare. That's the
It's a unicorn.
That,
It's a fucking
that incident
unicorn.
with you. That's the last time it's happened. The last time it happened, I think. I know. I swear, if my friend Sam heard this, Sam be like, "Fool, I got this on video," because I think she videotaped me the last time.
I was standing outside with Valerie, and she looks at me
I'm getting so hot right now.
like dead. She looks me dead in the eyes, and she goes,
that?
"You know what I'm saying?" And I went, and I just stopped and I looked and I was like, "Are you talking to me?" And she was like, "Man, fucking
So hot.
things
So
happen.
hot.
Things happen.
So hot in here.
Shit goes down.
It's-
You know
it's
what I
really-
mean?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess." And she was like,
Really?
and some guy had come up and asked her for a cigarette. She was like, "No, no." And then she was like, "Fucking shit happens." I was like, I was like, "Do you want me to tell the guy to buzz off? He's kind of hanging around." She was like, "Nah, fucking cigarette, barking shit." And I was like, "Excuse me?" She was
about
like,
right.
"Do you know what I'm saying?"
But it's real talk. I get that. Don't you get that now?
Yeah, and
I
I
love
went, and I
You
went,
get it now, though, don't you?
And
In retrospect, makes sense, right?
and I went, I don't understand. Listen, this
I am
is
so-
my favorite part. She
Okay.
goes, I don't understand, and she went, shit. And then looked away from me
Shit.
and wouldn't look at me for like 10 minutes. I was like, Valerie,
Well, I didn't have time.
Valerie.
I
She
didn't
was
have
like,
time for you.
"That's what you said." You went, "I don't have time for you." And
See? Maybe it ain't that different. Damn, this is jibber jabber right now. Fuck. Apparently. Okay.
Oh,
Let me turn a
man.
fan on. I'm hot.
That's like where being the diabetic driver is better than the designated driver, because we would have been in the same boat, and when that shit happened, I could have been like, I've got to check my blood sugar. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Also being the diabetic driver means that you were completely sober and I was just the most sober.
Oh, okay, well, that is also different.
Dude,
Man.
I love that. I love hearing.
Times.
I love fleshing out this story. It's pretty
Good
good.
times.
I love jibber jabber.
No.
It's so fun.
Feels
Shit.
like death the next day. It's bad.
All I know is I think I just started working night audit. And so I was going to bed at like 7 in the morning, and at 11 a.m. I get a phone call, and it's from a number I don't know. And I'm like,
me.
"Oh, I'm going to yell at whoever this is." And I open the phone, I go, "Hello?"
Oh, you were.
And then all of a sudden I hear, "I am so sorry."
I was.
And I was
devastated.
like, "Oh, hey, Valerie." She's like, "I apologize. I feel like I don't know what happened, but I feel like I can piece it together from my
And then she's
the
like-
door to my bedroom."
Just kidding. I ain't got time for you.
And I went, "No, it's totally fine. It's okay." And she was like, "I just want to say, AJ told me I need to apologize, and so I'm sorry."
Oh, I listen. I felt terrible.
I thought it was. I was like, "Yes, I finally have a Valerie Buckner story I can share."
AJ said you know better, too, though.
Buckner Tippit.
Buckner Tippitt. Buckner Tippitt.
No, you can go ahead and just say Buckner. My name's different now, so we can just pretend like it was another person.
You're like,
Oh,
it's
true.
a different
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
Those two
Completely
different
different.
We gotta,
people.
throw him off the trail.
Yeah.
Throw him off. Distraction tactics.
Shit.
So,
You
Oh,
look
listen, hey, I got a lot of
enough.
AJ stories. You want to talk about? Well, it's not even so much. AJ doesn't jibber jabber. He has just passed out on me at a bar.
That was one time.
It's
that you
twice.
remember.
Maybe twice.
It was twice.
was
But
tired.
the one,
I was tired.
Maybe 3 times?
just a coincidence that
Yeah.
it was at a bar.
Alcohol had nothing to do
Late
with it. I was just tired. I work a lot.
Right. Responsibility so heavy, wear me out. Got tired, take a nap. Load.
Oh shit! Keep going. Keep going.
No, let's not. We're done.
Oh, my God.
I just remember it literally was at a point where I was like, they're shutting down the bar. Like, you have to get up. Me and Evan had talked like a whole hour. AJ was like full weight, just
Like
here.
drool and everything.
Just here. I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to leave. And we're like, how's everybody else doing?
stools.
We were on stools. Yes.
That's impressive.
It was impressive.
Yeah.
Because if I was like, well, I can't touch him. If I touched him, he would. That's Jenga, you know.
So I think
Leave
it's,
him there.
I think it's only.
Oh my God.
So I think it's only fair that if I give out a story like that, my Valerie Buckner story, I'll give you my story of when I got so trashed at a Temptations show for the Purple Gala. Yes. And AJ had to drive me home.
Oh.
It was a charity event. So
listen, people get wrecked at charity events. I don't know what.
I woke up and I didn't remember.
I literally saw me and Chris. I'm not going to say which one because I don't want to.
Hemsworth or Evans?
Do what?
Hemsworth or Evans?
Shut up,
Pratt.
nerd. Shut your mouth, nerd.
Or Pratt.
That was actually really mean of us.
Enough out of you.
But we hadn't even started playing yet, and there was a silent auction.
Time out.
And yes,
Sir. No more from you.
No more from me. Shit.
Continue.
Okay, I'll be back next episode.
Here, use this if it gets hot.
Yeah.
It's helpful.
Yeah, cool him off a little bit.
Hey, you know what? Even a walrus can be a dickhead.
He just took a real beating over there.
Oh my God! Yeah, really.
Where the fuck did the walrus come from?
Right. What is going on here?
Continue.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was like there was the silent auction happening beforehand, and so me and Chris just decided we would just kind of, walk around and kind of see what people were doing. And this woman, she could barely stand already, and she had this. We were taking bets as to when she would go fully exposed. I mean, it was just
the dress was coming undone.
Yes. Oh my God.
Give me them
she had to
titties.
sleep.
Give them to me.
I know, but this wasn't.
Give me them flapjacks, girl.
No. This wasn't one of these like you were like. Woo, this was one of these like it was gonna be tragic, and you hate maybe like.
What the fuck are you about to say?
You need to elaborate when I'm about to make fun of myself. So we were at this gala, this Temptations for Alzheimer. Alzheimer's?
Is that the German version?
It's okay if you
Is that
can't
the German
remember.
version? Alzheimer?
Yeah.
Alzheimer.
Yeah. It's the pointer.
So you feel bad about that.
It's also a cocktail contest where all these restaurants got together in these cocktail bars and they pair with like a food from the restaurant. Cafe 4 was there, PKL and the Oliver Royale, Sapphire. There's a couple other places.
Nice. Sounds like fun.
Well, Cafe 4 had made a cocktail that was so easy to drink that at the end of the night they were like, "Oh, we made like a whole Gatorade cooler full of this stuff because we thought there were going to be more people here and more people drinking." And I was like, "Hey, can I get a cup of that?" And the guy filled up a whole Dixie cup with basically this like nothing but alcohol cocktail.
An entire
hunch punch.
Yeah. And I was just sitting there drinking it all night. There's a picture of me, I don't remember it, of me holding a bottle of champagne, which I also started drinking. And at one point, AJ went, "Give me that." And I went, "No, it's mine." And he goes, "Give me that bottle. You don't need to be drinking anymore." And I went, "No, it's mine. Stop it."
God, you know that is bad if AJ is telling you put it down.
I think he wanted it.
I don't think AJ's ever told me that. Have you ever told me to put it down? I don't think you've ever told me to do that.
So we leave the event and we go up to Market Square. And we go to hang out with everybody, all the bartenders and mixologists and stuff. And we go to Cafe 4 first. And when we're there, they're like, "What do you want a shot of?" And I was like, vodka. And they're like, "That's weird." Sure. AJ does a shot of Tito's. Everybody gets one. I do that. And then I forget what happens after that. But apparently we went to the rooftop of Scruffy.
That's what they call it.
And at the rooftop of Scruffy, every girl that talked to me, I was like, "I think she really likes me." Every girl that walks up to the table, I'm just like, I'm like leaning over to AJ. Like, she's pretty. He's like, "Yeah, she is. Thank you. Great." Stop talking. And then one of our friends comes up that's very prominent on his cell phone, like Instagram and Snapchat. And I was like, "Oh shit." I was like, "Make me famous. Make me internet famous."
Oh God.
I'm like, put me on your Snapchat. And he's like, "Okay." And he's like, have you had something to drink? And I was like, "Just a little." So I don't remember any of this. The only thing I remember is I took a shot of vodka at Cafe 4. And the next thing I do is I wake up and it's 6 a.m. and I have a sack full of crystals scattered across the floor. My cat meowing in distress because she doesn't know what's wrong with me. And Always Sunny in the Philadelphia is on TV. And I'm just sitting there on the couch straight, like upright. And I look at my phone and it says one text message from AJ. And all the text says is, I hate you. I went back to Crystal's and bought another sack full.
God, Crystals is gross.
And apparently I had bought a sack full for myself.
Not when you shit face. It's the best thing in the world when you shit
No,
face.
that's the only time that's the only food that I've ever, like in college, we used to get Crystals. And I would throw up and not even because it was just the food. It just towed me up all the time. I did not.
Well,
I don't
does
like
that, but like when you're in the mood for it, it's gold.
No,
It's the only time.
I am also an advocate for Crystal, even completely sober.
no.
Totally.
I'm not the guy.
Oh, I can be that guy. I
Do you
can be
guys
that
remember
guy.
when we were shit talking Crystal
I
and
wish-
joking
I
about it,
wish
and then
I
we
was.
went
Did
home
we-
after the podcast, and all three of us stopped there, like in the drive-thru behind
we
each
really?
other, and we could send each other pictures of our order.
Dude, I'm still a fan of it. I've actually tried. I've actually been so tired before.
You were all
that
sick
on
the
the way
next day.
home, where I didn't want to like stop, or I didn't want to cook, or like try to go to the store. or anything.
Ew.
And I would stop there just because I had to
Those
be
have
asleep.
to be the grossest French fries I have.
The fries are
ever-
not. The fries are not
awful.
great.
Holy Jesus!
But I've fallen asleep in the middle of eating Crystals before, and then woken up and had like one left, and been like, "Oh, sweet." Seriously, I'm not kidding. Listen. This girl that works for me was showing me pictures of her baby, and the baby's like 11 months old, and it's sitting in a high chair, and it's like falling asleep while it's eating, and I was like, "Fucking, I do that." Bitch.
No, okay.
It's
So
like, see one Crystal, it's cold, you don't care. You go, huh? Oh, it's not over.
well, in where I grew up in Tullahoma, there's a Dairy Queen, and they for the longest. I don't know if they still do that or they still do it, but they used to make you could get the 4 little cheeseburgers, like they make it Crystals, like the little burgers, whatever sliders with the weird, thing and the bun. So good, right? And they would do the diced
what's the
pickle.
Thing? Is the thing good? What's the thing? What's
the thing. But anyways, these little burgers,
it's the
and they were
pickle.
so delicious. I mean, and I grew up on them. So when I came to UT and I saw I had never had Crystals before. I didn't know what the hell Crystals was, but I saw there was them little burgers. I thought, oh shit, like them Dairy Queen burgers are so good. I want to go back. That's like childhood. Well, I get the.
Why did you
I
get
got
even more
so
country?
Please zoom in on her
I know.
for the video clip of that one.
I got so sick.
You
oh
shrank
my God.
inside
It
yourself.
was so disappointing. And I remember we tried it one more time, and I mean, again, it just happened. I was like, what is going on? This stuff is disgusting. And no, gross. I can't. And it's just not. It's
I would say Crystals is I said like I like it, but I would not find it good if I compared it to anything else in the world. So if you had like a great burger back home and you fucking came here and like I can see like that's a rough night.
It was. It
Two
was
chili
so
cheese puffs,
disappointing. It was like
two cheese crystals,
my feelers were
junkyard
hurt.
fries.
My belly was hurt. Everything was hurt.
But
That's
Hunter,
part of it. That's
hurt.
part of it.
Hunter, you also have diabetes, so
I
I'm
do.
sure like your taste buds are shot.
I don't know what that has to do with
I gotta
it.
tell you.
I think that's how it works.
a bit much, sir.
No, it's his blood is acid. It's fine.
Yeah, it can be acidic.
I have a question for Valerie. Considering the
can
story, considering that story, would you, if you had to pick one,
Okay.
would you rather take your chances with the coronavirus
Okay.
or a bag of Crystals?
Oh, I'll do bag of Crystals. I'll go back.
Oh, fuck
I'll go bag
What
of
a
Crystals.
That's
non-memeable answer.
I'm sorry.
That's
no.
very responsible.
I know. Hey, listen.
We don't touch the Corona food.
I gotta redeem.
We don't fucking touch.
We edit this podcast
Hey,
for
Steve,
content, not
Right.
Steve
continuity.
Tippett, if you're out there listening, I want you to know I love you, and you're one of my
Yeah.
favorite people in the entire world.
Everybody loves
We
it.
absolutely love you. Beyond that, we support you. Don't let Valerie touch the Corona food.
Steven. I do that all the time.
I'm the only one's allowed to call him Steven.
Steven.
Everyone's like, it's Smiley or what? Smiley?
Dirty.
Or dirty.
Dirty.
And I was just like, but what's your real name? He's like, Steven.
I'm
and I was
for the
like,
longest time when I first started dating him, because the only two people that call him Steven is me, his mom, and apparently Casey.
Yeah.
And
No, his doctor doesn't.
we went to one of his friends. Like, I had just met some his friends, and we got invited to like a house party. So I'm at this house. I don't know any of these people, and they were doing like a cookout. And he had just walked inside, and I kept going. I was like, Steven. And this guy goes, hey. I was like, holy, who the hell is Steven? I was like, oh my God. I'm sorry. I don't know. That guy in there. And he was like, oh, Dirty? He's like, hell, Dirty, I didn't even know your name. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, Valerie,
Yes.
it's been a pleasure.
Oh my God, is it done?
It's time. I think we're getting there. It's pretty long. AJ, I love you.
God, what time did we start?
Go fuck yourself.
What time did I get here?
I appreciate that. I
What day
appreciate
is
that.
it?
There you go.
Why am I so hot?
Thanks.
Now, Valerie, we do have a tradition on
Yes.
the podcast. You were here pretty early on last time, so I don't know if we had
I was on
established this
episode
yet.
9, folks.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
That's
with
right.
you
Go back.
here, we would be remiss, I think, if we didn't go out trying at least for
No.
a Beacon House song,
No.
but with a far superior singer.
Where's the button?
Nope. I think
Do you know how this goes?
I think he's right.
Do you know what
this?
this?
You can make
do you know how
I think
this
he's
goes?
right.
We can lay the groundwork, and I'll
I have
back
no
off
idea
and
what
let
the
you
hell
take
is
over.
happening.
All you have to do is just ad lib with Hunter a little bit. This is how we
Yeah.
end a lot of episodes like this.
They're
We go.
gonna sing, and I need you to shit on it at the end.
Wash your hands, wash your feet. Don't come near me unless you want to go to Crystal, baby. Go to Crystal.
Did we do it?
I've got nothing.
Girl, she's like, go.
I've got nothing.
Girl, she's like, go.
I've got nothing.
Girl, she's like, go.
I've got nothing.
Girl, she's like, go. Responsibility so heavy, wear me out. Got tired, take a nap.